Hello race fans and welcome aboard another live production of the Canadian E-Motorsports Network here on YouTube and on iRacing for some more action for Season 5 of the NASCAR Series powered by Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue. The second race of a 2-week run on short tracks to conclude what has been a very chaotic and entertaining month of April here within the Canadian E-Motorsports Network. Last week we were at Dover Motor Speedway in Dover, Delaware. Tonight we are in the good old state of North Carolina, what's considered the moonshine capital of the world, in the good old beloved town of North Wilkesboro in North Carolina. We're here at North Wilkesboro Speedway for the second year in a row. It is the GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150, round 7 of 22. On the call here tonight, as per usual, we have, you're hearing my voice right now, Regan McCauley from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, doing play-by-play since last season. On the other side, he's been here since the very beginning. It is Jordy Kerher from the other side of the country in Alberta, Canada. Unfortunately, Jordy is not with us at the moment. He will hopefully get to us once we hopefully drop the green flag to get some good old short track racing going here tonight. So for the pre-race show, more than likely just going to be me, but as soon as he joins in and his voice is ready to go, we will get him up and in here to get some of his opinions and thoughts of what has gone on recently within the NASCAR Series, of course. But to start this all off, we might as well go back to last week and kind of recap the Forked River 200 at Dover Motor Speedway, round 6 of 22, being again, the Forked River 200, and the number 21 of rookie Adam Wilson getting the job done, his first career victory within the series. Wilson leading 35 of 200 laps, was able to steal the show late in the race. Technically his second win if we were to count one of the Daytona duel races, which he did also win, but officially speaking, points paying wise, however you may want to call it, first career win for Adam Wilson. The race itself for the first 2 stages or so, relatively clean, some pretty solid racing through on out. Third stage is when things started to ramp up, and after the green flag pit window, it all came down to at least 3 cars, at least it looked to be that, in the final couple laps, coming down to about 20 to 25 laps to go. Adam Wilson, rookie, veteran Corbin McCauley, sophomore Justin Belmonte, 3 cars battling for the win, coming down to the wire, and then McCauley and Belmonte make contact with under 20 laps to go, setting up a late restart, and then I believe we got another one in there as well. But Tornado Alley E-Racing, 3 cars, Adam Wilson, Ty Higginbotham, and CD Mangrum all leading a charge late in the race. Wilson and Higginbotham taking advantage of those late cautions, of course, being the only 2 drivers to take 4 fresh tires, and they storm past everybody. And unfortunately, of course, CD Mangrum was the victim of them taking advantage of that, as Mangrum had worse tires, but he was still able to hang on barely over rookie Jordan Kalinian for the 3rd place finish. And so Tornado Alley E-Racing sweeps the podium in Dover, Delaware. So we will take a look here at last week's results with, of course, Adam Wilson getting the win after qualifying in 4th. Ty Higginbotham, CD Mangrum, of course, rounding out the podium. Higginbotham qualified 8th, Mangrum qualifying inside the top 10 just barely. Let's see here. Kalinian winning a stage, finishing 4th after qualifying 5th. Darcy Ford, the number 64 519E Racing car, qualifies on the pole for the first time, I believe it was since 2022, I believe it was. It was either that or 2021, but his first pole in a very, very long time. Andy Hurdle with yet again another solid result there, finishing 6th after qualifying in 7th. Should go back to Wilson very quickly. He has qualified top 5 in 5 of the first 6 races, and he's finished top 5 in 4 of 6 starts thus far, so it's been a hell of a run for him. And again, back to Tornado Alley very quickly. All 3 Tornado Alley E-Racing drivers have finished inside the top 10 in every single race so far this season. Wilson barely was able to keep that streak alive at Circuit of the Americas with a 10th place finish. But back on track here, Corbin McCauley qualifying 2nd. McCauley McCauley led the most laps with 85 of 200, led almost half the race, but unfortunately there was that late incident with Justin Belmonte. Still able to salvage a 7th place finish despite, again, there was another little bit of an incident in the final couple laps, some contact with guys like Mike Marini, and I believe Kyle Knoll was in there as well. But McCauley's still able to hang on. Rookie Jason Heaney in the number 9 qualified 13th and scored back-to-back top 10 finishes. He scored his first career top 10 finish back at Kansas the week prior, so it's been a hell of a run for him. Top 8, only cars finishing on the lead lap. Chase Beatty, the number 25, in his second start of the season after returning to the series back at Kansas the previous week, his first start since 2022. Finishes 9th. Charlie Sears scores his second career top 10 finish in the NASCAR Series after qualifying 6th. It's been a hell of a run for him as of recently, too. Again, 2 top 10 finishes in a row. He's qualified top 5 in the last 3 races, including a pole back at Kansas, so a hell of a run by the reigning IndyCar Series champion. Bryce Fontaine, the number 22 B&M Motorsports Ford, qualified 19th and finished 11th in his first career start in the series. And then Trevor Binns, Tom Janikowski, Jared Ireland, who won a stage, was in the running for the win throughout the race after qualifying 3rd, but just came up short. Kyle Knoll finishes 15th. He had some really solid pace in the first 2 stages, but then just didn't have that luck in the 3rd and final stage course. Back to Janikowski. That's his 6th straight top 15 finish. So again, no top 10s or top 5s just yet, but he has seriously gone under the radar with his consistency thus far. Again, not top 10s, but still able to come home with a clean car no matter if he's on the lead lap or not. And then down towards the rest of the field, Mike Marini, Mark Ouellette, Jason Butler, Justin Belmonte qualifying 9th, but man, oh man, what a hell of a run he had in that 3rd and final stage. But unfortunately, that incident with McCauley, he ended up not finishing the race. Jose Mercado, Ryan O'Toole having some major bad luck as well. And then Mason Tomlinson, Steve Escoffier, and Hunter Young all did not participate in last week's Forked River 200. Tomlinson, as a matter of fact, going into tonight, it was confirmed behind the scenes he has a broken rib, and there's apparently some bad weather going on where he's living, so if he's able to get through tonight's race in North Wilkesboro, 200 laps, then man, oh man, what a hell of a run that would be for him. So our thoughts are with him, of course. What an accomplishment it would be if he was able to make it through tonight's race. Thankfully, 67 laps less than last year's race. We'll get into a little bit more of that later on in the pre-race show, of course. But now we take a look here at the driver standings, which we'll take a quick note here that based on the graphic, we go by playoff spots. But what you're hearing from my voice is going to be the overall points standings. So around the playoff spots you see on the graphic isn't what truly matters, but again, everywhere else down there, though, there's about 7 spots there of drivers that, again, have not won yet, but are trying to make their way in, at least right now, on points, but are still looking for that first win, of course, with only under 10 races left in the season. So out of all the drivers that haven't won a race yet this season, CD Mangrum leads the way by quite the margin. I mean, it would have to take a bunch of catastrophes within the next couple of weeks up until June for him to be out of the running for a playoff spot. And he's seriously been long overdue for a win considering his consistency thus far. But Corbin McCauley leads the overall points by 22 over CD Mangrum. Adam Wilson, Jordan Kalinian, Ty Higginbotham, and Jared Ireland join McCauley with the playoff spots based on who's won so far. We've had 5 different winners within the first 6 races, so man, oh man, has driver parity ever been major so far here in Season 5 compared to past seasons, especially last season for our first season on the iRacing platform. The rest of the way, of course, maneuvers about from 9th to that final spot where Darcy Ford moves up. Mike Marini and Jose Mercado with unfortunate finishes last week. They end up falling a little closer to the cut line. Kyle Knoll was able to move his way up into that 12th and final spot, especially with the absence of Mason Tomlinson, who dropped from 13th to 17th, so now 29 points behind the cut line. But you got 3 drivers right there within a 7-point gap. 2 points behind Knoll. Trevor Binns, Tom Janikowski, and Charlie Sears are right there. And man, oh man, are they still ever close. We still have a couple races remaining here until we get to the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup Playoffs. But again, though, too, these weeks have been going by super, super quickly. So again, there is time, but there also isn't. Jason Heaney, again, 16th right in there. If we still had 16 playoff spots like last season, then Heaney would be right there for that final spot, but no. Only 12 spots this season. But again, though, 2 top 10 finishes in a row. He's been on a decent streak as of recently. Look out for him, of course. And then guys like Chase Beatty and Bryce Fontaine, who have had momentum as of recently as well, they're more than likely going to need a win in order to have any shot of contending for the Earl Ross Cup. Hunter Young was absent last week as a result of a one-race suspension, so 36 points back up the cut line. Still some time for him to try and catch up, but he's going to need to get some good, consistent finishes going within the next couple of weeks. And now we take a look at the rookie standings, where it continues to be a battle between the 21 of Adam Wilson and the 0 of Jordan Kalinian. Of course, Wilson being the Dover race winner and is the rookie points leader by 6 over Kalinian, 260 versus 254. Binns, Sears, and Heaney are all in a quite the dogfight for that 3rd spot. They all jumped Tomlinson for 3rd through 5th. Tomlinson still, and Ouellette as well, actually, a bunch of drivers still very well in that battle for that 3rd and final spot on the rookie point podium, if that's what we want to call it there. But of course, enough of that. Time to move on from Dover Motor Speedway, of course, and see the rest of the schedule here from tonight onward. North Wilkesboro concluding the 5-race stretch here in the month of April here in 2024. Again, lots of pretty good races within this month back at Phoenix, Circuit of the Americas, Kansas, Dover, lots of different track parity, a couple short tracks, and then a road course in there. And then just wait until we get to May when we have, again, Sonoma, a road course, the half Coca-Cola 600, short track at Iowa Speedway, Nashville Super Speedway. Like, man, oh man, things are just ramping up here within the Canadian E-Motorsports Network, especially too, including tonight, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 races left until we begin the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup Playoffs. So tonight, it's Tuesday, April 30th, North Wilkesboro concluding the month of April. It is the GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150. For a couple of facts here about North Wilkesboro, this is the 2nd year of operation within the Canadian E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series, powered by Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue. 0.625 miles, 1.006 kilometers long. It's hosted the annual NASCAR All-Star race since last year. It operated from 1947 till 1996, closed due to a quote-unquote lack of amenities, which that move was very much criticized by fans all around NASCAR, especially the locals who pretty much were relying on that track to kind of keep things going in the town. It briefly reopened in 2010, but then it reclosed a year later due to a lack of funding. And then you can thank Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Marcus Smith for the fact that the track here is on iRacing and has been since 2020. A revival effort began in 2019. Track was scanned for iRacing, uploaded in 2020, and ever since it has operated as the 1987 version of the track. And it reopened in 2022 with a dirt surface, turned back to asphalt last year. Ever since, it's hosted NASCAR racing, the All-Star race for the Cup Series, a points race for the the Craftsman Truck Series, and some late model racing too, particularly the Cars Tour. Last year's race, the NASCAR Throwback 150 for the Canadian E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series, 267 laps versus this year's 200. The number 17 of Corbin McCauley getting the win. It was an absolutely dominant performance by him. If I go and check right here, he led, he didn't lead the most laps, but still a pretty dominant performance. 95 laps led up 267 versus the pole sitter getting 161 laps led instead, but still a really, really good performance by him. Last year's race ended up being an hour and 50 minutes long with 5 leaders, 12 lead changes, and 14 cautions, so 71 of the 267 laps were run under the yellow flags, so fingers crossed that we don't have that here tonight, especially with all the active drivers that did participate in last season's race. All that experience built up into this season, along with the experience built up in all the other races from last season and all the first 7 races of this season here within the Canadian Motorsports Network NASCAR Series on iRacing. all that experience built up, no doubt that we're going to see a hell of a show here tonight at North Wilkesboro Speedway. The active drivers in that race include guys like Macaulay, Ford, Darcy Ford, Andy Hurdle, Ty Higginbotham, Justin Belmonte, Jared Ireland, and a couple other guys in there. And for the as for the track tonight, it's known for an uphill slope on the back stretch, downhill slope on the front stretch. Rough racing surface. I mean, it's the 1987 version of the track, so what do you expect? And some pretty loose corners. Tonight's race, according to the drivers, is expected to be very, very loose in general, especially considering it is cloudy, as you can see there in the background. So no doubt tonight's race, going to be a barn burner. Fingers crossed, not a wreck fest filled with cautions. But qualifying is currently underway. Single car qualifying, 2 laps per driver. And judging by what I'm seeing here on the timing screen, it looks like we're going to have 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It looks like we're going to have 23 of 24 drivers on the roster participating in tonight's event. As for the driver that's not participating, I would really have to deep dive into that one. It'll probably come naturally as the race goes on. And judging by lap times so far here in qualifying, it is looking like we are going to get yet again another first time sort of situation right here. Another first time pole sitter. It'll be 4 races in a row with a, or maybe 3, I guess maybe, but it'll be 3. It looks like it's going to be 3 races in a row with a different pole sitter. Or it could be 4, depending on how you look back, because there is one driver in particular that ended up winning 3 poles in a row earlier in the season. But it looks like 21 of 23 have put up a time thus far. An interesting dynamic up towards the top. Definitely not wanting to say any names in particular just yet, because we will provide all that with the official starting lineup for the GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150. So we'll have another minute or so here to wrap up single car qualifying. And then we'll get set for some good old short track racing here at the old school iconic North Wilkesboro Speedway. If you're tuned into the stream here for tonight's event, feel free to leave us a comment here. Subscribe to the channel. We race here every single Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Atlantic. At least that's when live coverage begins for every single live production. Feel free to leave a comment to get some... I couldn't think of the term I was trying to think of, but just, try to get some engagement going here. Feel free to leave a comment, say who you're cheering on, what you expect out of tonight's race, what you think of how the season has been going here thus far. Again, 5 different winners through 6 races. We'll see if that kind of dynamic is able to continue on here tonight. There's no doubt that could be the case. Driver parity has been at an all-time high here within the NASCAR Series, powered by Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue. We've only had one driver with multiple wins here thus far, of course being Corbin Macaulay with wins at Las Vegas and Phoenix. But then again, the last 3 races, we've seen 2 rookies win. So we'll see if we get 3 within 4, maybe tonight. And there's a couple of, we got a couple of rookies here up towards the top of the board whenever we eventually get to the starting grid. Still no sign here Jordy Carraher just yet, but fingers crossed we'll be able to get him eventually. And so everybody lined up here just before the start-finish line behind the iRacing official pace car. So, with all that being said, it's time for me to go into race control, give these guys a quick message, get these engines fired up, get the crowd roaring here. It'll be time for round 7 of 22, the GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150 here in North Wilkesboro Speedway. Stay tuned. So the engines have been fired up here on the front straightaway at North Wilkesboro Speedway, with a couple familiar drivers qualifying up front here. Quite the dynamic throughout this field, of course. So we'll get a higher angle here of everybody in just a second. Let's see. There we go. That'll do it. So here we go with the starting grid for tonight's GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150 at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Starting on the front row, we have the number 13 Chevrolet from Eudora, Kansas. Sophomore Jared Ireland looking for his second win of the season. On the other side, in second place, the number 21 Toyota of Adam Wilson for Tornado Alley eRacing. First career win last week at Dover. He looks to go back-to-back with yet again another short track victory. Starting in third, we have the number 64 Chevrolet for 519 eRacing from Harrington, Prince Edward Island. Darcy Ford with another great qualifying result after scoring the pole some time ago. And alongside him, the number 97 Toyota, yet again another Tornado Alley eRacing driver from North Carolina. It is Ty Higginbotham, also looking for his second win of the season. Rounding at the top five, we have the number 9 Toyota for Koopa's Racing from Altoona, Wisconsin. It is Jason Heaney looking to score his third top 10 finish in a row. Outside of him, the number 32 Chevrolet for 499 Racing from Charlottesville, Virginia, rookie Charlie Sears. Starting in seventh, we have the number 10 Chevrolet for 519 eRacing from London, Ontario. It is Jason Butler. Alongside him, starting in eighth, the number 1 Tornado Alley eRacing Toyota of CD Mangrum from Atlanta, Georgia. Row 5 to conclude the top 10. He'll actually be starting at the back after a penalty post Dover last week. The number 6 Ford for GTR, or Warrior Racing, from Pachigo, New York. It is Justin Belmonte. Alongside him with a broken rib. Fingers crossed he's able to make it through this thing. The number 4 Chevrolet rookie from Eudora, Kansas. It is Mason Tomlinson. Row 6, we have the number 7 Chevrolet for 519 eRacing from Daytona, Ohio. It is Andy Hurdle. Alongside him, a fellow veteran in the number 12 Toyota. From Thunder Bay, Ontario, it is Mike Marini. Row 7 has the number 17 Chevrolet of Corbin McCauley. It's been some time since he's won a race here within the NASCAR Series. He looks to break that winless streak. Again, he's had that pace, just needs a better result. And alongside him, starting 14th, the number 93 Chevrolet from Appleton, Wisconsin, is Tom Janikowski. Starting in 15th, row 8, the number 33 Toyota for Koopa's Racing from Winter Haven, Florida. It is Trevor Binns. Alongside him, he's back after being absent from last week's race. The number 77 Ford for GTR from St. Catharines, Ontario. It's Hunter Young. The number 15 Toyota for Storm Surge eSports from Wendell, North Carolina. Kyle Knoll looks to rebound after an unfortunate result last week where he had some great pace at Dover. Alongside him, making his second career start in the NASCAR Series, the number 22 Chevrolet for Bryce and Jim Motorsports from Laverne, Tennessee. It is Bryce Fountain. We got a pair of GTR drivers here on row 10, the number 41 Ford of Jose Mercado from Kissimmee, Florida. If that's how you say it. Apologies if that's incorrect. The number 25 Ford of Chase Beatty from Loudon, Tennessee starts alongside him. And then row 11 has the number 0 Toyota of Jordan Kalinian from Salisbury, North Carolina, looking for his second win of the season. Alongside him, the owner of Koopa's Racing and the number 80 Toyota from Georgina, Ontario, it is Mark Ouellette. And rounding at the field, the rookie number 16 Chevrolet from Portland, Oregon, it is Ryan O'Toole. And so we'll see if the pace car is going to come off this time. Indeed it will. We're going to go green this time. 200 laps here in North Wilkesboro Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, the pros. Jared Ireland leading the field through turns 3 and 4 and here on lap 1. He'll lead the first lap, bunch of double file action going on out of turn number 4, side by side for the 6th position, Sears versus Mangrum. Lots of slipping and sliding back and forth through turns 1 and 2. Jason Butler, Andy Hurdle, pair of 519 eRacing drivers side by side. McCauley trying to get past the both of them, making his way up into the top 10. Close action between them just past the start-finish line. But single file or so towards Tomlinson in 8th. A lot of cars sliding up the track, going way up high towards the wall, coming off of 4. Butler really trying to use that high line there, although he really went up high right along the wall, almost a wall ride from him. But Adam Wilson continuing to lead the way. McCauley really making a move up here through the field as now he's side by side with the number 32 of Charlie Sears for the 7th position. It was a rough couple of first races for the number 32 of Charlie Sears to begin in the NASCAR side of his Canadian eMotorsports network career, but man oh man has he ever been pretty smooth with his results in the past couple of weeks. Again with a pole back at Kansas, a couple of top 10 finishes in the past couple of weeks. Solid finish back last week as man oh man, Jason Butler getting into the wall there. He really has been struggling here through the corners thus far. Really trying to use that high line. Oh, in trouble for the 33 of Trevor Binns. Almost spins, but he's able to keep the car straight. Down the front stretch, he hangs on. He's back to 19th. Yeah, just got loose off the corner. What matters is that he was able to keep his car straight. Meanwhile, the number 13 of Jared Ireland still continuing to lead the way here. Looking for what would be his second win in the last 3 weeks. Pretty much single file throughout the field here thus far. Brief look here at the race analysis for tonight's event. 200 laps in total. Stages 1 and 2 are 50 laps each. Final stage will be 100 laps. AKA it all adds up to 200. Math. Pit road speed, 35 miles per hour. The fuel window is around 75 to 82 laps. So we won't be seeing a whole lot probably until the second stage. Unless some guys decide to pick up some interesting strategies, of course. Marini and Collini and Marini side by side for 13th. Still going on, and Marini has the highline advantage thus far. But now with the sun out, things are going to get a little bit tighter here on the surface at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Mostly cloudy skies, track temperature at 37 degrees Celsius, so it is quite hot here in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. .519 eRacing guys back at it side by side here heading into 3. Butler still using that high line. My gosh, he's been really up there. He's carrying the title sponsor of GSGSG Vinyl 3D. So we appreciate them very much for coming on as the title sponsor for tonight's event. GSGSG Vinyl 3D will be back with us later in the season for one last race on May 28th at Nashville Superspeedway to conclude the month of May. So we can't wait to have them back as a title sponsor once we get there. We're at the end of April, so we'll see how fast time flies by for when we get to that one. But man, oh man, has it been all Jared Ireland here thus far. The number 13 Boot Hill Chevrolet has been dominant thus far, leading 16 laps thus far. He's coming to lead 17 laps. Already approaching lap traffic with the 16 of Ryan O'Toole being quickly approached. The 17 really making his way up through the field here thus far as, whoa, trouble! Oh, and Jared Ireland's around, the leader! We stay green on lap 18, but wow, just like that, we were talking about how dominant of a race it's been for him, and then he spins on the backstretch. But we are still green after that little trouble there for Ireland, so we're going to go back and see what happened with him. But yeah, just simply lost it coming off the corner on the inside line. Yes, he got into the inside. I guess you could call it a wall or a barrier. But unfortunately, he's all the way back to 19th now, which gives the race lead. Or at least we'll say the top two positions here to a pair of Tornado Alley E-Racing drivers. Rookie Adam Wilson, veteran Ty Higginbotham leading the way. And again, as I was talking about there, that charge by McCauley, all the way up from, I believe, 13th, he's now up to 4th. Again, last year's winner of the NASCAR Throwback 150, which was, I mean, of course, the name was self-explanatory. It was the throwback race for Season 4, where every driver was encouraged to put on a throwback scheme. McCauley getting the job done. He and O'Toole, Ryan O'Toole really getting into the wall there, trying to let the lead lap cars go by. The 17 brushed the wall just a little bit as well. But the number 17 Dover Motor Sports and Kawasaki Chevrolet, again, trying to defend that, I guess we can say North Wilkesboro 150 trophy, as now we, of course, have a title sponsor compared to last year. And again, in the outside wall coming off of 4. Again, as was mentioned earlier, 267 laps last year. Tonight's is only 200, so again, this race could very well whiz by. But then we've seen the trend over the past couple of races where we've had a late caution after a relatively green flag race. Usually it's like if stages 1 and 2 are clean, stage 3, man oh man, things get rampant as, oh, there's contact between Ireland, oh, and he's going around with Bryce Fontaine hard into the outside wall. Caution is out. From dominance, I don't know what term I'd even use right there, man. Dominance to heartbreak, just like that with the snap of a finger for the number 13 of Jared Ireland, who again led almost up to 20 of the first 20 laps there. And then he and rookie Bryce Fontaine make contact. The front end of Ireland's car completely gone, and man, oh man, it has been a very rough stretch for the number 13. As of recently, thank goodness he has that win from Kansas to keep him locked into the Earl Ross Cup Playoffs. But again, though, too, you got to try and build up those stage points and those playoff points every race. So we'll take a look at the replay here to see what went on with him and Fontaine. So we'll go back right here as they're going through turns 3 and 4. Yeah, it looked like Fontaine held the line. Ireland just came up the track, and man, oh man, hard hits into the outside wall. Again, from this angle, it looks like Ireland came up there, but again, we'll look at all the different angles that we have. Could argue maybe some potential neck code there as well. Again, the drivers will have their opinions as well. But just absolute tragedy for the number 13. Dominated the start and then just like that. Already 1 lap down. Fontaine's at 3 laps down. So Adam Wilson, Ty Higginbotham, Darcy Ford are your top three, your podium drivers here thus far. So a bit of a quickie yellow by the looks of it here, as everybody's getting double file here for a restart on lap 32. So again, 50 lap stage. It's going to be what it looks like it's going to be a 19 lap shootout till the first green checkered flag. All three Tornado Alley drivers here inside the top six. Half of that top six being them, and then you got Ford McCauley and Jason Heaney in there, Charlie Sears as well. Got Mason Tomlinson back there as well, but the green flag back out. Adam Wilson with the jump on the restart. Maybe a couple walls back there getting into the outside wall as McCauley passes forward for the third position. So the 17 continuing to charge his way up towards the front. Or I should say to the lead at this point. He's practically at the front at this point. There is Andy Hurdle and Charlie Sears side by side for what looks to be the 8th position. And now McCauley's going to go for it for second place here. He'll get past the 97. Darcy Ford's going to try and take advantage as well. Wilson's still leading the way by about half a second. Higginbotham is going to clear forward for the final spot on the podium. And it looks like Bryce Fontaine is going to be the first DNF of the race. He says he had that outside lane covered, and it looks like netcode may have potentially been a factor in there too, so unfortunate circumstances for the number 22. Again, the guy who first debuted here in the series last week at Dover and finished 11th after qualifying 19th. Fell just short of a top 10 in his first career start. So again, for a guy like him, and then there's someone like Chase Beatty who first got started back at Kansas in his first return since 2022. Those guys are most certainly going to need a win if they want any shot at contending for an Earl Ross Cup. Adam Wilson leads the way with the number 17 of Corbin McCauley right on his rear bumper, 2/10 back. But not a far distance between every single driver here as Higginbotham, Ford, and I'd even argue even Mangrum is still in the hunt right there as we're approaching very soon to 10 laps left in the first stage. And it looks like we may potentially have a color commentator here finally after what seemed to be some technical issues for him. As the pre-race show was getting underway, so we'll see if he's able to pop in here. Jordy Carraher, do we have a copy from you just yet? It looks like technical issues are still happening for him so far, so fingers crossed we'll be able to get him at some point here during the race. He says back up and running, so again, fingers crossed. But 9 laps to go here in stage 1 with Adam Wilson leading the way, looking to hang on over the 17 of Corbin McCauley. Wilson has yet to win a stage yet this season. Yes, he won last week, but he still hasn't won a stage yet this season. McCauley so far has, I believe, 4 stage wins so far this season. His last one coming back in stage 2 at Kansas a couple weeks back. Again, 4 stage wins, 2 race wins, and 3 poles for the number 17 so far. So, I mean, trying to keep up that momentum from last year, but again, the driver parity and all the experience built up with every single driver back from last season, plus all the rookies the first time, or the newcomers, I'll say here for Season 5. Man, oh man, has he ever been challenged here compared to 2023, of course. Couple battles back here. Jordan Kalini and Jose Mercado side by side for the 12th spot. Right now, Mason Tomlinson looks like he is well in the running for that one stage point there in 10th. Charlie Sears right on the rear bumper of Andy Hurdle for 8th, with now 5 laps to go. Back here, it looks like Kalinian really falling back now as Belmonte's trying to take advantage of him. Trevor Binns will try to look to do that as well. Meanwhile, up front, it looks like it's looking like a 3-horse race here for the first stage win. Higginbotham is not out of it at all just yet. Half a second back of Wilson, but and you could arguably throw a blanket over some of these guys. But 3 laps to go, coming to 2 laps to go as Andy Hurdle and Charlie Sears are trying to battle for that one extra stage point. Sears on the inside, Hurdle on the outside. The 32 clears the way down the front side. Not just yet. That aged poorly so far. Now it looks like he'll be all good. Tomlinson looking for an extra point back there from 10th. But up front, Adam Wilson still leading the way by about 3/10 or so. But you could put a blanket over 2nd through 4th. And that's going to be the white flag for stage 1, lap 50. Will the 21 be able to hang on? Not try to, hopefully not catch up to that lap traffic right there. But coming through turns 3 and 4 for the final time here in stage 1, it's Adam Wilson. First stage win of the season. McCauley 2nd, Higginbotham 3rd, Ford 4th, Mangrum 5th, Knowles 6th, Heaney 7th, Sears 8th, Hurdle 9th, and Tomlinson rounding out the top 10 for stage 1. And it took me a little while to get the stage checkered on the graphic there, but there we go. But the top 10 on the leaderboard right now is your top 10 for stage 1, so kind of mark that down on in your notes if you choose to do so. But it looks like pretty much everybody's going to come down pit road here under this stage caution. We'll see what strategies are done here early in this one. I would imagine most guys will more than likely go for 4 tires and fuel. Maybe a couple guys going for maybe just 2 tires, as Sears actually leads the way off of pit road with only a 5.67 time, so more than likely just took fuel. A lot of other guys taking either 2 or 4 tires by the looks of it. But we'll check back one more time here just to kind of get a quick view of some of these fellas. See, McCauley took only the right side tires. Or no, he did take left sides. Okay, no, I was very blind right there. That's on me. Yeah, McCauley only having, like, what, the 13th pit stall in the pit lane, and he comes out second, so not too shabby. Doesn't matter where his pit box is. He still makes his way to the front somehow. Just go to over McCauley. Sears actually had to back into his box and he still came out first. But again, it looks like he just went for fuel. And that is correct. So yeah, Sears was the only guy with like a 5 to second-ish pit stop time there. Meanwhile, got everybody else at about 13, 14 seconds, so pretty much everybody taking tires, and then Sears, on the other hand, it'll be interesting to see what happens here when we get the second stage underway. Before we get to this second stage, might as well give a quick shout out to the number 80 at Mark Ouellette for Koopa's Racing, as he said here behind the scenes that today was a very special day for him, as he officially launched a website for his turtle sanctuary. It's the anniversary of the passing of Audrey, so a very special turtle and inspiration for the sanctuary built. It's been 5 years and about $300,000 and counting in the making. The website is currently up at turtlesanctuary.ca, so there's a little bit of a shout out there to Mark Ouellette, of course. Green flag back out for stage number 2. A huge jump by McCauley there on the high side again. Sears with no tires on that stop. McCauley, on the other hand, 4 fresh tires. He takes perfect advantage. He gets past number 32. Now Wilson's going to dive down low on Sears. McCauley leading that lap now on lap 57. Side by side for that second spot. Wilson and Sears, a pair of NASCAR Series rookies. Oh, Mangrum goes around in front of the field. A couple of other cars get collected in that one. Butler gets hit hard from behind by Jared Ireland. Trevor Binns is in that one. So is Justin Belmonte. Oh, and O'Toole barely got around that one from the back. Caution is out. The first incident, or no, the second incident-related one. So a lot happened right there, so we'll have to certainly go back and check out what on earth just happened there, as maybe some potential feelings there. I can't really speculate a whole lot from what I'm seeing on the screen, but we're going to go back anyways and just check out what on earth just happened. With the number 1 of CD Mangrum. Oh yeah, just entered the corner and completely lost it. Got into Sears a little bit, and Ford as well. Heaney gets into Mangrum. And then from behind, just nowhere to go for a lot of guys, and Butler's rear end up into the air after Ireland couldn't halt on the brakes there fast enough. And it looks like we finally have our color commentator potentially in here. Jordy, do we have a copy from you? Maybe soon. As we continue to look at the replay here of this incident on, I believe it was lap 57. Thank goodness that didn't collect anybody else. That was pretty much right in front of the whole field. And so, again, a little bit of damage after what just happened there. But Mangrum back in 18th, still keeping it straight, holding firm. Pretty much everybody is. Jared Ireland still 1 lap down without a front end. If you take off the hood, you could call that car a modified. But up front, for this restart on lap 64, it'll be Adam Wilson and Charlie Sears in front, and apparently it was missed that Corbin McCauley nailed the wall before the caution, got a bunch of right front damage, which is why he's all the way back in 20th. So, tragic. But anyways, green flag back out on lap 64. Adam Wilson leading the way. Everybody's going to try and get past Charlie Sears again with fresher tires. And how about that? Where did Kyle Knoll come from? The number 15 Storm Surge eSports Toyota gets Darcy Ford up the track into the outside while he spins. Caution is out again. Aggressive driving from the number 15 into the back of the 64. The Pipe and Kettle Soup Co. Chevrolet goes around. Thank goodness no one else was involved in that one. But the yellow flag back out here in North Wilkesboro Speedway. There's the voice.
I figured that was a good way to test. I don't know.
But yeah, Jordy, things have gotten a little bit rampant here within the past 10 or so laps here. I imagine you see it on the screen as we take a look at the restart. Everybody coming through turns 1 and 2. And then here into turn 3, the number 15 dives it in, gives a little bit of a love tap there to the left rear bumper of the 64, goes around. Thank goodness he didn't come back down in front of the field, but unfortunately in consequence, he had to go into the outside wall.
Yeah, just a little bit of a drift there wound up steering the wrong direction after initially getting turned. It looked like he was going to hold on to it. But yeah, as you say, that additional turn is ultimately what wound up getting him side. Oh, man, more in the background.
I was actually, trying to get a replay here of the number 17, because he did mention he got hard into the... So, oh yeah, there it was right there. Man, oh man, from the race lead. Man, oh man, I was blind when that happened, because then right there, Mangrum goes around on the previous caution. So it's no wonder the 17 now a lap down in 22nd.
Yeah, you're kind of inadvertent chain reaction there in a sense.
So Jordy here as we're under the caution. You weren't here for the pre-race show, obviously, but now that you are here, you might as well kind of give some brief thoughts and opinions back from last week's Forked River 200 at Dover Motor Speedway, where Adam Wilson got his first career win.
I mean, it certainly looks like a springboard for him tonight so far, doesn't it? I mean, he's the guy that's... How many times did we talk about, just it seemed like he was always in the ballpark, but just couldn't quite barge through that door after knocking on it so many times. And oh no, okay, I'm seeing a separate communication here.
Oh no.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, but that's unintentionally hilarious. But what was dead serious again was Adam Wilson's performance last week. Again, ultimately being able to conserve that set of tires for what everyone kind of expected to happen at Dover. It did eventually come to pass. That late incident that wound up kind of bunching up the field again with roughly 10 laps to go, somewhere in that ballpark, and that gave Adam Wilson and Ty Higginbotham enough of a run to get to the head of the field, and wound up being a Tornado Alley 1-2-3 there, with of course Mangrum taking yet another top 5. What else is new for the number?
Looks like more technical issues there for Jordy, but he pretty much gave some insight right there into the number 21 of Adam Wilson, and also last week's race at Dover. Now he's back again here as the field is back to green on lap 71 of 200. So, judging by the math, I believe that's 30 laps to go here in stage number 2. Adam Wilson leading the way,
as he's done for most of the evening, it appears, so why not keep that up?
Oh no, it's turned by Higginbotham off of 2. Cautions out on lap 72. Just three instant cautions right there. My gosh.
Well, if I'm Darcy Ford after getting turned by one Kyle Knoll a few laps ago, I'm wondering if he's saying maybe turnabout is fair play in this case. But hey, long way to go. A lot of spots to make up. Not a lot of track to do it on.
Potential message send there, but again, that's just speculation. We don't want to start any unnecessary drama here, of course, so we'll...
Yeah, that's more
yeah.
The super funny nature of it. Because it was obviously not Knoll who It was not Ford, I should say, who made contact there that time around.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
it's worth another look.
Oh no, Noel just got loose, and then Higginbotham got into the back of him, so the 97 just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was not ideal to say the very least. Just the end result, I mean, obviously not speculating one way or the other.
Indeed, and how about this? The number 4 rookie Mason Tomlinson from Eudora, Kansas. Again, at the moment, he's got a broken rib, and he may still be under a tornado watch, and yet he's been running consistently inside the top 10 all night. He's 7th right now. I was saying in the pre-race show, if he's able to make it through this one, I mean, first of all, thank goodness that, for him at least, that, again, last year's race, 267 laps, tonight's being 200. Again, less laps, but still less time to, get things together, have, that perfect strategy come to the final checkered flag. But, man, oh, man, he's going through all that. He's running 7th. Got to give him credit.
Hey, the ribs are one thing. Head, heart, hands, and feet. He's got them all working here and, running consistently. There's absolutely something to be said for what Tomlinson's accomplished here so far.
So Wilson's led 52 of 75 laps here thus far. Jared Ireland is back on the lead lap after leading the first 17 laps, still without that front end. The number 17 also back on the lead lap. He's led 2 laps thus far. And maybe a little pro tip is instead of watching the broadcast and going a lap down, maybe try to pay attention to the Maple Leafs and the Bruins.
I mean, usually that would be, I'm sure there's some joke about a train wreck in there too, but yeah, we're paying attention here.
Quick score update, it is 1-1, so that's all we're going to say for now. But
yeah, just did a Google search.
Lap 78 at 200, green flag back out in the GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150. Adam Wilson leads the way, side by side for second between Kalinian and Higginbotham. Lots of double file action going on back and forth, almost 3 wide here. Thank goodness it wasn't.
Yeah, you got to think it's, and again, you're knocking on wood here. You just want to get through this a little bit cleanly here, the first few laps anyway, no? Because it's been a lot of stop, start since I came on. Maybe I just have to leave again.
Yeah, you came on and boom, the... Okay, what would be the wrecking version of the skies opened up? Whoa, lots of checking up right there. Sorry, you were saying?
I was going to say I didn't really have an answer because the big one seems too obvious, but we do have someone turned in the back.
Kyle Knoll goes around off of turn 2 again. We stay green. Jared Ireland trying to make his way up through the field without that front end. Side by side again for second place. Higginbotham versus Kalinian. Andy Hurdle following in behind, looking for the 3rd spot against the 0.
Kind of matter of hanging on here. Again, first couple laps under green again. I thought there might have been something happening there, but crisis averted for now.
It might have been a loose moment there, I think, for Trevor Binns, but he keeps his car going straight. Somehow. Oh, big trouble in front of them. Multiple cars going around. Hunter Young is in that one. I could hear laughing on the other side of the wall.
I just need to stop talking. Like, what in the world is happening here?
Yeah, okay, my memory's faded because of everything that's happening. I said skies opened up. What's your version?
Well, I was going to say it was too easy to refer to it as the big one because it's not really that. But, yeah, it's just... Yeah, I'm not really sure what to call it. unfortunate for one thing. Ooh, yeah, I just saw that one little clip as you were going back.
Oh man, Sears may have come down on the 70s. Came down the 77 of Young going into turn 1. And then chaos ensues behind them. Tomlinson got in that one.
Well, I was gonna say he's there, but I don't know how much. Yeah, okay, yeah. I was gonna say it looked like he maybe just navigated away a little bit, but nope.
Yeah, not clear. Yikes.
Man, I thought this was North Wilkesboro. Cars going in every direction.
Well, I mean, remember last year of the 267 laps, like over 70 of them were run under the caution flag.
This is true, for sure.
Tragically.
Yep.
It probably doesn't help that a lot of drivers have not pitted in a long time.
Yeah, might be getting a little slick.
Well, if we do look at the weather info, it is almost 40 degrees Celsius, at least the track temperature is. So, I mean, it was said that when the sun's out, it does get a little tight. But like again, it's slick racetrack. It's going to be loose in general, anyways.
Yeah, and if I recall, the North Wilkesboro, layout is the 1986 one, correct?
19. You're 1 year off, 87. But
okay. Well, the
good
point
guess.
I was gonna make was if the asphalt standards are the same as 1987, I wonder if maybe those tires are getting chewed up just that little bit more.
Well, I did mention in the pre-race show that, again, it's self-explanatory. It's the 1987 rendering of the track, so it's going to have a tough racing surface. It's going to be slick loose no matter what. And again, with the sun out, too, that does not help at all. And just seeing how this recent trend has been going throughout the race here tonight, we're nearing 10 laps to go in Stage 2. We're quickly approaching the halfway point. Well, quickly to an extent. So
Quickly? What?
quote unquote quickly. It depends on how you look at it, but the green flag back out. Adam Wilson leading the way as per usual. Higginbotham and Kalinian continue to battle for that second spot. Jason Heaney looking to make his way up through the top 5. Jason Butler's really using that high line as he has been all night. It's like nothing happened for the 17. He's already making his way up towards the top 10. Just has to navigate through a lot of traffic here. A lot of guys, like there's Trevor Binns, Jose Mercado, Mike Marini in there as well. Oh, Jose Mercado saves it.
That's an incredible save from, well, I was about to say Florida Man, but the Floridian. There's a big difference, folks.
Oh, Trevor Binns having a moment there, too, off of 2. He saves it.
Florida guy. Go figure.
Oh, Charlie Sears now has a moment.
Now Tomlinson trying to get around the side there. Yikes. These guys are struggling.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, as much as I hate this turn of phrase, the struggle is real, folks.
I mean, that's the thing is, we love to see our drivers get challenged, but sometimes that goes to an extent.
Yeah, this might be, a bit much, but, it's producing a little bit of a jumbled order here as well, so not all bad.
And yeah, big going back to a Mercado spin there as well. I mean, or save. Spin actually would be the proper and tragic term for last year's race because Mercado Mercado had an incident on the front stretch, which resulted in a late restart in last year's race. This time around on the front stretch, he's able to save the car. So, I mean, hey, the experience paid off. He improved.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you learn, that's the most important thing, right? And, yeah,
Exactly.
clearly use the experience moving forward. And, you know what? He's hanging around here, just biting the top 10.
Number 17 having a bit of a trouble there with Jason Heaney. Slides up to the outside. Mike Marini is going to look for the spot under him. Oh my gosh, the 17. Even he's struggling here tonight.
I mean, you wouldn't necessarily know it the way he sliced through the field from 20th, I believe, when I joined, back up to 6th.
Yeah, something like that. He's making his way up, though.
Granted, with all the cautions, I think they're...
Oh, Butler hard into the inside wall in the backstretch, but no caution. That might be a gone engine.
Yeah, he kind of went poof.
Oh, man, Heaney almost dove it in there to make it 3 wide as Adam Wilson... Oh,
there's
trouble in the
caution.
backstretch. Multiple cars around. Ireland Sears involved in that one. Trevor Binns might have been collected as well. But the caution is out on the final lap of Stage 2. With Adam Wilson leading.
Yeah, he's getting rather comfortable up there, isn't he?
Indeed he is. I mean, he's led 76 laps, coming to 77. Well, as a matter of fact, everybody's going to be coming down pit road anyways, so... Everybody's crossing the line anyways, so there you go. There's your top 10 for the stage. Wilson, Higginbotham, I couldn't count in time. We'll go back. Would you need the stage 1 order as well?
I mean, right now we're not in the stage of needing real-time numbers, so I'm fine to get those later. But, you know, I'll be interested to see how the second half of tonight's evening goes. Hopefully, you know, a little less carnage than what I've seen since I've come on.
Okay, so from what I can tell, it's stage 2 is Wilson, Higginbotham, Hurdle 3rd, Macaulay 4th, Kalinian 5th, Heaney 6th, 7th is Mangrum, 8th is Ford, 9th is Marini, and I think 10th is Mercado.
It might help if I actually open said spreadsheet, but I can go back to YouTube. I can go back to YouTube to get what you said.
Here's the
though,
incident,
so
by the
fine.
way. Oh, man.
Yikes. Yeah, there's another front end gone.
So Charlie Sears might have been potential culprit here unless Ireland got loose and came... Oh, yeah, no. Sears right into the left rear and then collects Binns hard into the outside wall. Good avoidance by a lot of those other guys, by, like, Janikowski.
Yeah, I know North Carolina is considered Tobacco Road, but I think our friend Charlie Sears might have touched some grass coming out of 2.
It just has not been a good race for the 13, and now number 32 is starting to get onto that trend there as well. As well, this is... Or no, that's... Okay, that's the replay. Thank God. Thank God.
I was about to say, Jared, you're not in Kansas anymore, but... you know, I think this is almost worse, and...
As soon as you
Tommy,
came...
let's go.
As soon as you came in here, this just got cursed.
That's usually what my arrival does, yes.
For any time a blooper reel or perfectly cut screams highlight reel, whatever gets made anytime down the line, that's going to be perfect. And I'm proud of that.
That sounds like probably the kind of thing for a 100th race special, but I mean, we got to get through this one first.
Stage 3, final stage, is underway with none other than Tom Janikowski leading the way.
I was going to say none other.
3 wide, 17, diving it in down low. Is he going to make it work? He does. They're also 3 wide back here. Marini up the track into the side of Ford. Belmonte gets ahead of that one. Thank goodness. Almost contact between Ford and Young.
Oh.
Macaulay leading the way past Wilson. Higginbotham now. Janikowski really falling back.
Yeah, well, you'd have to think the obvious culprit is that he didn't pit.
Well, I mean, he hasn't pitted in 20 laps. Everybody else came down for what I assume were 4 tires and fuel. I mean, what else would you... What other options would you have?
Yeah, I mean, track position can only do so much. You can't, move on said track. Yeah, like, I admire the gamble from Janikowski there to try and stay up front. But, I mean, pretty clear that's not working out, especially when the rest of the field came in.
And with the number 17 leading the way, if he's able to defend his, I guess we'll call it North Wilkesboro 150 victory, then who knows, maybe it'll be 2 victories for him tonight if he is able to hang on towards the end, and then the Toronto Maple Leafs keep their series alive, so.
Yeah, just keep that one quiet for now.
Oh, Kyle Knoll around. Caution. What else is new?
On the caution part, yes.
Yes, caution part, not on you, Knoll.
Yeah, but you know what? If he didn't have bad luck since I came specifically, because I believe he was running 2nd or 3rd when I showed up. If he didn't have bad luck, he would have no luck at all. And that was self-inflicted, it appears, mostly.
Yeah, Knoll finished 6th in Stage 1. So, he was running consistently, about top 10-ish or so, and then he was able to make his way towards front end. Oh, no, Knoll goes... Nope, that was a replay. Get pranked.
Like, I thought we were going to put a bug on these replays at some point. To make that a little more obvious.
Now, at this point, it's...
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the natural curiosity and all that. But it might be good to kind of keep in line.
What's that nickname that Mike Joy has for Daytona, where it's like Chaotic Corner or something like that, or I can't recall.
It's one of those things that'll come to you after the fact.
Corbin, I'm aware that live and replay are there. I'm just joking around now. That second one was get pranked, and it wasn't even funny.
Oh, I was thinking he might have, made consecutive pit stops under the speed limit.
And there are shots fired.
I mean, it had to go somewhere, right? But not too fast, though.
No, the work by Macaulay with everything, all the visuals you see here and stuff on the broadcast does not go unnoticed. I mean, how the hell else would we be able to do the broadcasts here every single Tuesday night? Especially with TrackHams22.com providing us with these fantastic angles.
Smooth.
I did that without thinking. Hell yeah.
You did. And therefore, where are we going?
I don't know. I don't know whether or not it'd be the smartest move to do it on the restarts.
I mean, it feels like there isn't going to be a good time, so to speak.
You know what? We'll just do it. At least it's done. Drivers, just do your thing. All right, pace car's off. Restart. Oh. Crank it up. So that was the TrackCams22.com Crank It Up. So thank you very much to them, as per usual, for providing us with these very professional looking broadcast angles, of course. Meanwhile, 69 nice laps to go.
And while we're here, we should shout out the YouTube chat as well. I believe, if I recall correctly, Butters1973 is one former NASCAR Series driver, Keith Miller, out of, I want to say, Minnesota, who drove in season 3, if I recall correctly. So
yeah, believe that's
if I've got the info right, good to see you, Keith.
Indeed, shout out to the gang like Jose, Mangrum, Young, Beatty, Marini, Higgy, O'Toole, Belmonte, Wills, everybody.
Yeah, it goes without saying, a lot of these guys are very familiar with one another.
And obviously there were a couple of moments there under that Crank It Up, but it's safe to say after everything that happened in stage 2, that Crank It Up was probably the cleanest racing we've seen tonight, somehow.
Yeah, we're up there, and yeah, now we've got an update from Jason Butler in the YouTube chat here as well. Apparently 20 minutes of repairs needing to be done on that number 10.
Ouch. Oh man, it's looking like the 17 might be struggling because Ty Higginbotham is starting to catch up. He's gained about a second or so within the past couple laps.
Yeah, and while we're watching all this live, I'm going back to the YouTube feed here just to try and catch what happened to Adam Wilson. And yeah, it looked like out of second place out of turn 4, just looked like he got loose. And that's what put him into that lower barrier.
I mean, hey, after what happened there, he's back up to 9th.
Well, I mean, we saw in stage 2, Corbin McCauley made the recovery drive from 20th to get to where he is right now. So not unheard of, kind of like Kansas a couple weeks ago. There is the ability to kind of knife your way through the field here. And even Darcy Ford's doing that as well. He had to go to the back after getting turned around, and he's back up in the top 5.
Darcy Ford and Jordan Kalinian had a bit of an aggressive battle there for the 5th position. So number 64 makes his way up, looking for another top 5 finish this season. We shout out TrackCams22.com, but we might as well shout out all the other sponsors and partners that help make this all possible every Tuesday night. Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue, the title sponsor of the NASCAR Series for Season 5. Rampage Coffee Co., Piping Kettle Soup, Forked River Brewing Company, Bangarang Hard Seltzer, Nordic Aluminum, GSGSG Vinyl 3D, the title sponsor for tonight's race. Catch them back for the final race in the month of May at Nashville Super Speedway. And then GTR, the team, and also sponsor as well. So thank you very much to each and every one of you for helping us out here, make this possible every single Tuesday night. Meanwhile, number 17 looks like he might be putting us maybe a little bit more of a gap now in the 97. About half a second or so separating them. It was almost as close as like maybe 0.2-ish a couple laps back, but now the 17 seems to have regained a little bit of form. Still leading the way. He has now led 40 laps here tonight.
Yeah, and got a little bit of a help on the extending the gap there as Ty Higginbotham had a little bit of trouble getting around the lap car of Mark Ouellette, whereas McCauley made that fairly easy that time around. So yeah, that's just going to open things up that little bit more for the 17 as he looks for victory number 3 on the season.
Yeah, the 17 hasn't won a race since Phoenix. 2-race win streak at Vegas and Phoenix. So 3-race winless streak, looking to break that here tonight with, again, trying to defend the North Wilkesboro trophy after winning the inaugural race last year.
Yeah, but I mean, if anything is certain, especially since I've come around, It's that absolutely nothing is certain. It feels like, we're bound to see something else happen before the end of the night that could make things extremely interesting toward the end. Don't know when, don't know where, just have that gut feeling.
So quickly approaching almost 50 laps remaining here in the GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150. Jordan Collini and Jason Heaney battling side by side for the 6th spot. Adam Wilson following in behind. A pair of rookies here are going at it for a couple extra points. 2 winners versus Heaney, who has yet to win this season, but has scored 2 straight top 10 finishes, as Collini might have had a moment there with the outside wall coming off of 2.
Well, I was wondering if Wilson might have actually bumped him from behind.
Oh.
Because it looked very abrupt. And it didn't seem like Collini was anywhere near the wall. Well, but everyone's going in the same direction, so we're all good.
Oh, contact between Heaney and Chase Beatty down the front stretch. They're all able to keep it in the right direction. Jason
Heaney
Heaney
and Wilson trying to navigate through all that too.
Heaney slides up the track. That opens the door for Collini to slide back under him. Not anymore. Heaney clears the way again for 6th. About 2 seconds back of Andy Hurdle for 5th. So Heaney has 2 straight top 10 finishes. He'd be looking for now his first career top 5 finish in the series. Man, oh man, has this guy ever been trending upwards in the past couple weeks.
He absolutely has, and hey, maybe the short track's giving him a sweet spot here tonight. And yeah, if he can reel in a top 5, he's a guy that's presently outside the playoff picture. So if he's able to collect that big haul of points, hey, look out.
It's still the number 17 of Corbin McCauley leading the way now with... My math is not mathing, but it's almost 45 laps to go.
I'm no help to you right now. I'm in potato vision.
And I'm happy to be on the... I'm happy it's the opposite now, knowing what was like a couple years back.
Yes. No, that is totally fair. And that was without a leaderboard, too. That was almost criminal for you.
Basically.
Not ideal.
No. Heaney's starting to put some distance over the 0 as Adam Wilson trying to battle Collini here for the 7th spot. We got a couple guys here battling at the bottom of the top 10, 0 versus 21, and then 6 versus 41. Almost some 3-wide action back here as Jared Ireland's trying to make his way back up through the field. In the 12th spot on the lead lap, his front end has returned.
Yeah, a little bit of magic there, perhaps, because we saw it disappear there for a bit.
Noel slides up as, Andy Hurdle to pit road.
Yeah, this might not be the worst idea, though, depending on what he's going for. Well, I guess going backwards probably isn't the greatest start.
So 4 tires and fuel by the looks of it for the number 7 who falls a lap down.
Yeah, pretty standard stop, though. Otherwise, we'll have to see if the rest of the field's kind of forced to follow suit here. Obviously, with all the cautions that might extend some of the tire life, there might give a few more options toward the end. But hey, we've been green for a little bit now, so we'll see how these cars start to act up.
See that latest comment in the chat?
Let's go back. As we see someone else, Mercado in. Oh, man. All right, Butler, if you're just going to be chilling in the garage, let's get you on an in-race reportership. It works so well for the guy who's currently in pit lane, Jose Mercado.
Yeah, to be fair, Mercado actually did a pretty good job.
Yes.
Darcy Ford now makes his way in.
Yeah, so...
Oh, hurdle. Penalty?
Well, I think Butler might have been just missing a 1 when he was calling for a number for the speeding penalty. He had the 7 right.
Not the Juan.
Indeed not.
So Jason Heaney, Darcy Ford on pit road. Looks like both of them going for 4 tires. There's Andy Hurdle now making his way out of his pit box. 54 seconds. Here comes the 17.
On time and on pace? Any audible expletives from the other side of your wall? Or I guess the headset would screw that up.
Well, it depends on if it's the race or the game.
Also true.
So Mark Ouellette was also on pit road there as well, so nearing 30 laps to go here in the GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150. Still a 1-1 game halfway through the third period.
And speaking of ones, how about the number 1? I haven't said a word about CD Mangrum here so far tonight. This might be the quietest second place I've seen. Oh, well, of course, he's going to go into pit lane as I say that, but at the time, it was the quietest second place. And, I mean, he took the lead in pit lane, so, hey, good
Caution!
job. And, oh, boy. Let's see what we've got going on now.
Huh?
What happened, Raggy?
Raro?
Yes. Ruh-roh if we can't find it.
I do not have a button just that to accidentally throw the caution. I can tell you that. I swear.
Not this time.
Yeah, I remember that trauma from last year. Which then led to, go figure, we were just talking about CD Mangrum. Mangrum ended up crashing on the next restart.
Yep.
Oh, Jason Heaney potentially had an issue?
Well, let's see what we can figure out here.
Oh, he turned forward.
And Ford able to hang on to it, but obviously losing all that speed. That'll cost him a few spots.
Maybe a potential candidate for that's a caution? Maybe. Maybe.
Well, I mean,
kind of.
fair contact there. And I mean, 4 if you're coming onto the start-finish straight, like, yeah, I can see it. That one's fair.
It might be arguably unfair for a lot of these guys because, yeah, you told me you had a gut feeling that that green flag run you were seeing there, and then that last caution that we had, that was not the last one.
It couldn't have been.
Indeed. So that definitely messed around with the green flag pit window. The number 17 leads the way. Darcy Ford, the last car on the lead lap. Yeah, Jason Heaney's up there. Yeah, Hurdle, Heaney, and Ford are all up there. Hurdle's 4 laps down, so he's going to need a lot of cautions if he wants to get back on the lead lap. I mean, Ryan O'Toole. There's O'Toole, there's Beatty, Ouellette, Janikowski. Like, he had to... It's probably not going to happen, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that'd be tough to say the very least.
But if we look at laps since last pit, there's, between 4th and 10th, a lot of those guys that just pitted. There's a couple guys there up front that may have slightly worse tires. I'm going to safely assume that.
Yeah, I mean...
Although Higginbotham's last stop had an 8.7, there's other guys with around 13 to 14, so could it...
Maybe only took 2?
I might speculate that depending on how this restart goes.
Right sides, if I had to guess, based on a lot of the strategy talk?
Indeed. We'll see. Green flag, 17 gets the jump. Lap 174, nearing 25 laps to go.
Yeah, nice job from Mangrum diving in on the inside to grab second there off of that restart.
Oh,
no.
CD Mangrum! Oh, in front of the field! Couple guys... Actually, they were able to kind of keep it straight there, but still, yellow flag back out.
I just have to stop talking.
At this point, any spin that happens, I'm just like, oh, yep, they're spinning again. The one thing that's going to have to get me into a high-pitched voice again is if somebody flies out of the ballpark.
Well, I mean, your brother was doing moon car stuff last night, so, he's kind of halfway in the sky or in the air or something.
Yeah, he won the, I believe it's moon car lights race, I think that's what it's called. And because of that, he won his way into the big moon car series, and unfortunately, lap 2, he was quote-unquote killed.
Well, I mean, he's the guy who produced a rather infamous iRacing viral moment, I believe, correct? Was he the one who was talking about, what was it, running into, like, the pit barricade or something like that?
I know, I think he participated in the first ever LA Coliseum race, and they crashed. The green flag came out, and I think he got like the pole, or he got first, second, something like that, front row, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Corbin, but, and then they spun right after the start-finish line.
Wolf.
And it was broadcasted on Twitch.
Just what everybody wants, right?
We're under the caution period. We're under the caution period, so if there's... We're under caution, so Corbin, if there are any details I'm missing, anything you want to add, feel free.
Just don't go a lap down again.
Yeah, and just pay attention to being to your screen, the one in front of you. It is still 1-1 with almost 5 minutes left. Oh, God bless us all.
Yeah, if you wind up commentating solo by the end of this race, you'll know why.
I see you disappear in the software beside me, and I'm like, another technical issue? Oh, wait.
Yep. Might not be coming back from that one.
Jordy Carraher has officially retired from the Canadian E-Motorsports Network for unfortunate circumstances.
Well, I mean, if it comes to that, that's a bit problematic, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right, might as well look at the race summary. 10 cautions, 131 under green, 48 under caution, so we still have plenty more if we want to try and beat last year's total. 11 lead changes, 6 different leaders. That actually... I think that kind of beats last year. Kind of. We'll see how the rest of this race goes, and then maybe we'll be able to officially call that. But anyways, the number 17, the 97, a pair of 7s and a 1 and a 9 on the front row. Leading the way, 20 laps to go in the GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150. Can they make it back without wrecking?
Well, I mean, the 17's trying his damnedest. Ooh, look at that jump.
Ooh,
Yeah, well.
A little bit of
Okay.
stuff going on back there, but we're still going.
Yeah, everybody hanging on.
And that's all we must do. Or you must, whatever. Oh, no! The 17! Oh,
Well,
the wreck. Oh, man.
And I mean, he talked about hitting a wall up high earlier, so not the first time that's happened, and not the first time that, you know, seconds later, we get another yellow flag.
So another continuation of the absolute worst luck for the number one, and then... What?
Yeah, he might drive the one, but it seems like he can't win. Yeah, it was just like typical. No, it was just yeah, another loose moment.
It didn't break well, maybe. Don't come after me if that's wrong, but it could have been anything there. Just unfortunate circumstances is the way we're gonna put that, especially for this guy.
Yeah, no kidding. That run of top fives to start the season may well be going by the wayside here.
Yeah, the Tornado Alley streak looks like it might come to an end here tonight.
Okay, so apparently if
the
they're looking at
onboard.
an onboard.
All right. Oh. Huh. Downshift and then yeah, car just wiggles.
Meanwhile, you'll have Jose Mercado a little further in the back of the field saying a downshift only did that for him. A couple weeks ago, that's what caused him to blow an engine.
Yeah. So it's 15 laps to go. 11 cautions. I think we're 20 before we get to the start finish line, 20 laps away I think until last year's number.
And with 15 left, or I guess it'll be 14 left now at the line, yeah. Not catching it, but percentage-wise, worse.
Again, too, last year's race was 67 laps longer than than tonight's scheduled distance.
Yep, hence the percentage-wise disclaimer I just threw in there.
Now, the thing is, CD Mangrum is still going, so that he's 5 spots away from continuing that Tornado Alley streak. It still could happen. Anything's possible here, as we're going to have 13 laps to go in tonight's race. Ty Higginbotham leading the way, looking for his first win since Daytona. Oh, and Jared Ireland goes around into the inside wall, up on his left side tires, but we stay green. A decent distance now for Higginbotham. The 17 is going to charge up against the 0 for second place.
And they're off! No, they're not.
It's
I spoke it into existence.
CD Mangrum. Oh my gosh.
Yes, Kevin, spectacle is one word for it. That's a YouTube chat comment.
Loose again. Man, oh man. Ooh, Butler.
And they're at Sonoma next week? Oh boy.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, we might as well... We could quickly look at it here. Sonoma, Charlotte, Iowa, Nashville, the Super Speedway version.
That's
And
just
then-
mean.
And then to begin the month of June, and then June we got Monza, Pocono, Indian Rocket. What?
Yeah. Yikes.
Road course, Half Coke 600, Iowa. It's just Iowa. Nashville Super Speedway. Who the hell knows what happens there? And then we go to
Yep.
Monza. Gosh.
Yeah, not maybe not the nicest schedule, shall we say.
And what for the 20? Looks like the 20 current viewers watching our broadcast right now. There's still there's under 10 laps to go now. Get your friends and family on here. Just start sharing share the link. We're bound to have a wild finish to this one if we're even able. Yeah, which one's gonna end sooner, the race or the Leafs game?
We almost need to apologize for some of this, I feel.
Oh my gosh, 1-1 with 2 minutes left. Good God.
Yeah, you just, focus on the race right now, sir.
But we need the chaos.
Okay, so over under on one of these going to overtime.
Neither.
Huh, okay. Okay.
That's all I've got.
Yeah. We'll see.
Neither or both. We'll go with that.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like there's an in-between, does there? As my screens just went black for some unexplained reason, but now I'm back.
How is Charlie Sears in the top 10 without a front? I guess Jared Ireland was able to do it. CD Mangrum in 15th could still be in the running to keep that Tornado Alley top 10 streak going.
That's a big ask.
It's a big ask, but I mean, at this point, what else could possibly happen? And the 17's back up there.
Well, he made a great recovery. That's the thing after having that issue. He got the chip when it went yellow as we're green again.
6 laps to go. We'll see if they're able to make it back to the checker this time. Oh, man. Tomlinson in the wall. Darcy Ford made contact. They're still going. Almost 3 wide.
Just survive, I think, right now.
Ty Higginbotham, though, maintaining the lead. Oh, the 17. Oh, man.
Yeah, there's a touch. Something happened in the back.
Yep, they're crashing big on the backstretch. Caution's out. Darcy Ford, Jose Mercado's involved. Adam Wilson collected. Jason Heaney.
Well, 4 or 5 laps to go. We're guaranteed one of these going into overtime, no?
Oh, this is most certainly going to overtime.
Yep. So there's your over-under.
All right. What could have possibly happened? Oh, Marini and Wilson got together.
I think the better question, the way tonight's gone, is what couldn't have happened, or what hasn't happened.
And then just nowhere to go for a lot of those guys.
Ugh.
Oh, man. Trash heap.
That's about the most apt way to put this.
Kevin in the chat saying, what a spectacle.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes.
saying before, yes. That's a word for it. Now, I can't tell from that little profile picture if that's Season 1 NASCAR driver Kevin Fennick. That would be a throwback for the ages.
What can happen will, quote of the night, yeah.
Yeah.
In other news, you, sir, are going to overtime.
Well, I mean, we both are.
Yeah,
So,
both of these are going to overtime. How about that?
I mean, it felt inevitable that both would go there. I mean, to respond to Bryce Fontaine there in the chat as well. Hopefully he has better memories of overtime than his Predators did on Saturday night, or was it Sunday? I can't remember.
It was one of those, but yes, Vancouver tying the game in the final 5 seconds, and then they go on to win it in overtime within 2 minutes.
It was 1:02. I was listening.
Oh yeah.
On the radio. I was in my car at the time when it happened.
Oh yeah, okay. I remember watching it live. I just didn't recall the time thing. I knew it was within a minute or two though, but rest in peace, Nashville there.
I mean, 3-1, they can still come back, but I have to believe that as a Leafs fan. But I could see that very much being a difficult hill to climb.
Man, oh man, if Boston were to get that win, man, with that Boston crowd whole, man. But anyways, we're gonna focus on this overtime because that's what matters the most here. We're on lap 201, so most certainly here in, I guess, I don't know, Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue overtime? We can call it that.
Well, I think we're going to have some collective brains being fried here at the end of this. Let's find out.
97, and Ty Higginbotham leads the field back to green, and oh man, Mangrum in the walls. There was contact with Sears 4 wide.
That's
a
problem.
Oh, Rhino Tool hard in the inside wall.
This is just good God. What were you telling me off mic about tonight being a shorter race?
Lap distance wise. Yeah, you win.
Yeah. Man, this is rough.
Well, we're just going to replay the entire restart at this point.
I mean, you may as well.
So, okay, yeah, Mercado and Sears got together there. Mangrum slammed the outside wall, and then, yeah, just nowhere to go for any of those guys. Ryan O'Toole just couldn't get it slowed down in time. I assume that's what might have happened there. Yeah, just lost the rear end. Bam.
Yeah, head first into that one.
Okay, we're seeing here behind the scenes, if we get to a third green, white checkered and the caution comes out, the race is over. So this will be the second of 3 attempts.
And yeah, I wish you were wrong on that follow-up comment, Kevin, but hard to argue.
Comical.
Hard to argue that.
Oh, and Trevor Bin's even gone to the wall there as well, so just
he was running, I believe, third or fourth going into that restart. What happened there?
Everything happened there.
Rest in peace, Bob Cole. That was one of his best calls. Everything is happening.
Yep, indeed an inspiration to many within the sports world. But Ty Higginbotham leading the way still. He's now led 27 of 205 laps.
I wonder what percentage of those are under caution.
Actually, come to think about it, I wonder if we... maybe we do get to that number from last year.
Well, I mean...
Please don't.
Yeah. I mean, we're 3 away from even nicer number.
Yeah.
But if there's one more caution, that guarantees we go beyond that. So, yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, and we have 14. I think it was 12. Let me see. It was 14 cautions, 71 laps under cautions. So we actually tied last year, yet the race had less laps. So if we get one more caution, that beats it.
Well, I think we're about to find out here, I believe. Yeah, that's pace car lights off, right?
Yes, it is. Everybody's double file. Pace car off. Let's try this maybe one more time. A lot of separation towards the back of the field, but back to green for the second overtime attempt of 3. Ty Higginbotham leading the way. He clears the way, too. A lot of drivers being careful back there just to try and at least get back to the white flag.
Yeah.
Kyle Noll with an aggressive bump there behind the 17
Where
white
did
flag.
he come from in all this?
Man, oh man, final up. Oh,
no!
in big trouble.
No!
Trevor
What?
Binns and Mike Marini around in turn 1. Still
Final lap
green.
started, though.
Yeah, they got back to the white flag and to the checkered flag. It's the number 97 U.S. Air Force Toyota for Tornado Alley E-Racing. Second win of the season for Ty Higginbotham.
Man, this place is going to look like a tornado cleanup site.
And yeah, after all that, Kalinian second, the 17 able to hang on for third. Kyle Noll makes his way back up for fourth. Justin Belmonte fifth. CD Mangrum kept the streak going.
Unbelievable.
Wilson seventh, Mangrum ninth, Tornado Alley wins 2 races in a... Yeah, well, hang on.
Well, no, Mangrum finished 9th. He was all top 5s before that.
Well, yeah, but I've been holding on to the top 10 one because I don't. Not everybody's finished. Not everybody has finished top 5, so top 10 has been the one I've been talking about. So that's going to be 2 wins in a row for Tornado Alley, and that's going to be 7 in a row of this team finishing. All 3 of them finishing inside the top 10.
Which means solid recovery effort from Adam Wilson in stage 3 here as well.
Thank goodness I do not take the photos that everybody sees on our social media pages after every race. I don't take screenshots of crashes. Thank God I don't, especially after tonight.
Well, what else would you have tonight? It's a half serious question.
I will figure it out. How's that sound?
That's all I can ask.
And what was it? Higginbotham won stage 2, I think?
I'm assuming Wilson got both, didn't he?
My memory's faded.
99% sure Wilson at stage 2, and I'm guessing on stage 1 just based on the sheer number of laps led.
And knowing the kind of guy Higginbotham is, I am very eager to know what the hell he has to say after all that.
Yeah, he's always got interesting takes on how it goes, but very measured takes as well, it has to be said.
Indeed. So before we get to the unofficial results, I might as well go into voice chat here and talk with the man who has now won 2 races this season, joining Corbin McCauley as the second multi-time winner in Season 5. Jordy, might as well send me questions that you've got wherever that may be.
Okay, I wasn't sure which voice chat you were referring to, so that clears it up.
All right.
Each. Oh yeah, he literally said he wasn't in Discord earlier, so that makes more sense.
Yeah. All right. Ty Higginbotham, do we got you, bud? Ty Higginbotham, do I have a copy?
You got me, Corbin? Regan, sorry.
All good, my man. I got you. Ty Higginbotham, the number 97 Toyota for Tornado Alley eRacing. 2 races in a row. Tornado Alley goes to victory lane. That's going to be 7 races in a row where, Ty, your team finishes inside the top 10. What a recovery effort, especially for Adam Wilson, CD Mangrum, but for you especially. After all that, you're the one going to victory lane. You go ahead and describe it all. You're the one that experienced all that, so you just go ahead and just explode with whatever's going through your mind.
I just am so freaking happy that I finally got an oval win that's not Daytona. I know I've talked about it a lot, trying to get that win that is not, a restrictor plate. And I was so stressed out there at the end on those green-white checkers because I just wanted to hit that last lap to get the checkered because I know Corbin had the speed, and luckily I had the start that I can actually go on my terms and not his, and I think that's ultimately what won me the race. So it's crazy. I came in here thinking, I ran solid last year here. I think I finished like 6th or something. I got shuffled back into the pack. And I know I had the speed. I just wanted to try and keep pace with the top guys, see if something happens. Things happen with the top guys, and I was able to pull through. I went to pit there right before that caution came out there in the middle of stage 3. I think it was like 25 to go, 30 to go, something like that. And I took 2 tires instead of 4, and Corbin brought it up over on the iRacing chat, but I think me taking 2 instead of 4 saved me from going a lap down. So it could have been a totally different race than me being here at the finish line. So very thankful for that.
Hang on, sorry, I was unmuted. I was muted there, but for sure, of course, 5 races. You had a bit of a 5-race winless streak right there after, again, the GTR 250 win at Daytona. And as you said, finally, a relief to get that first win on an oval, not a super speedway. Just kind of talk about how the past few races have been going. You've still been consistent, finishing well up high in the overall standings. And, I mean, again, locked in the Earl Ross Cup Playoffs just fine, but still trying to get some good finishes, some stage points and playoff points in there. Just would you really consider these past couple races kind of a rough stretch, or were you just just trying to do your best, stay consistent, finish well? What would you say about all that? I don't know how to ask that properly, to be honest.
No, you're fine. I understand what you're trying to say. Honestly, I've been trying a lot of different strategies, trying to see, what works, what doesn't work, what do guys normally do. Do they take tires during stages? Do they not? Because that becomes, stage points are valuable. I mean, it's a huge difference between finishing 8th and 9th in stage 1, stage 2, and finishing 2nd and 3rd, stage 1, stage 2. I mean, so I haven't been getting a lot of stage points. Just been trying to kind of see how I've been trying to save my tires better, I guess you could say, through the races, and trying to see if I can get that long run speed and whatnot. But today, tires, I mean, they did matter, but they not as much as somewhere like Kansas or Dover or Vegas. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it a rough stretch, just more of a testing period in a way. But I also have been driving pretty hard at the end of the stages, and just other guys have been really fast, and we just have such a stacked group that when you can get the wins at certain tracks, that's when you have to get them. So super, super happy that I was able to get this win here at North Wilkesboro. Short tracks have kind of been my other strong suit where I have speed, so I was definitely looking at this one on the schedule.
Indeed. Now we got a question here from Jordy, who kind of going back to tonight's race. He says, tonight was sheer survival for you in what looked more like a tornado cleanup site. Yeah, go figure. What was the biggest key to you surviving the chaos and doing it relatively cleanly? Quote unquote for... that can be a little weird to say with how tonight went with some of these guys.
Yeah, I like the tornado cleanup joke there, Jordy. Yeah, it was a survival race for sure. I think being up front definitely helped. There was definitely some points of the race where the person right in front of me wrecked. I think 3 or 4 times the person right in front of me wrecked. So definitely just try to keep my cool in avoiding those wrecks, and primarily, yeah, just staying up front was the key. Once you got back in traffic at a track like this, it is hard to get back up to the front. I gotta give props to Corbin and Jared and my teammate Adam for getting back up to the point there for a while after what happened at the beginning of the race. But yeah, just a little luck on my side, and also just being able to stay up the front and avoiding those wrecks was definitely key.
Absolutely. And now we got the opinions and thoughts from rookie and your teammate Adam Wilson last week after his first career win at Dover Motor Speedway. But now we have you here with this Tornado Alley streak continuing. You're the veteran. You've been the guy at Tornado Alley since last year. You're on your own to start off, but then on the off season you signed CD Mangrum and then Adam Wilson, a third-year driver and then a rookie, to come along. And man, oh man, like, now that you're here in Victory Lane, we want to now hear your thoughts, the veterans' thoughts, the team owners' thoughts on how this team has been doing this season. Man, oh man, you guys have been like the class of the field so far. Again, with this top 10 streak continuing on now, you have 2 wins, and that makes it 3 wins in total now through 7 races for this team. Just now from the veterans' perspective of you, just talk about how it's all been going from your perspective.
I mean, what can you say? I mean, these, Adam and CD, they put their best effort in each track, in and out, each week, and couldn't ask better as a team owner to, see that. And, I mean, they have speed everywhere we go, so I would say at some, I'm potentially the slowest one on the team. They're just so consistent and just have the pace, and sometimes I learn from them, to be honest. And like you said, last year I was by myself. It was my first year in iRacing. I kind of wanted to just see how I would do, and didn't really want to have other people on the team to where I'm struggling and then they have to deal with that. But after the first year under my belt, I wanted CD back. After the year we had in Heat 5, previously, I wanted him to be on the team, and then I was, like Adam mentioned last week, we'd been racing in other leagues before, many years, 3 or 4 years. So he said he was on iRacing. I said, all right, well, you want to be on Tornado Alley? He said, yeah, sure thing, man. So, I mean, it's just awesome to have that kind of talent on a team, to learn from each other, to have the communication that we have, and it shows. It shows. You can have pure raw talent on the track, but I think if you have that, team chemistry, and even if one is having a bad day, it doesn't affect the other two, and I think that's huge. So very happy about the guys. I got the win here, but we all 3 got top 10s, so another solid day for Tornado Alley.
For sure, man. And now that you're back here with us once again, take the time now to thank those that help you out and provide you with these opportunities to come out every single Tuesday night and get the job done here within the Canadian eMotorsports Network, powered by Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out, as usual, to the family and friends, my big supporters, as always. Tornado Alley guys, CD and Adam. They're great teammates. And my sponsor, I don't think I shouted them out at the GTR 250. So the U.S. Air Force, I got to give a big shout out to them. And the great paint scheme that Mr. Butler himself made for me. It's just such a good paint scheme. It looks so good here at North Wilkesboro. Got to give a shout out to him too. Yeah, man, I'm pumped up. I am pumped up, Reeves. It feels so good, especially at a historic track like this. So, and again, as always, props to you guys, Reeves and Jordy, for the broadcast. Always do an excellent job. So, week in and week out. So, big props to you guys, as always.
Appreciate the kind words. And talking about that number 97 U.S. Air Force Toyota for Tornado Alley eRacing. Yes, it indeed does look good, and it looks amazing as well in victory lane for the second time this season. That was the number 97 of Asheville, North Carolina's Ty Higginbotham, getting the win in the GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150 at North Wilkesboro Speedway, joining Corbin McCauley as another winner in the history books at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Ty, congratulations on your second win of the season. We'll see you next week for a road course at Sonoma Raceway. Any little quick thoughts on that before we go?
Hang on, I literally just unmuted.
I will not be sitting here next week. That's all.
What were you Alrighty, Ty, congratulations once again. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Reeves. Thanks, Jordy. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
And so that was the number 97 of Ty Higginbotham post-race winner interview here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. And now we'll take a look here at the unofficial race results. Ty Higginbotham getting the win, of course. Jordan Kalinian, the rookie, finishing in second. Corbin McCauley finishes in third after qualifying like 13th or something like that. Kyle Knoll and Justin Belmonte rounding out the top five. So great rebounds for those two after some unfortunate circumstances back at Dover last week. Jose Mercado, 6th place. Not bad for him. Adam Wilson and CD Mangrum in 7th and 9th, continuing the Tornado Alley top 10 streak, 7 races in a row. Jared Ireland, 8th place. Man, oh man, he and Mangrum had quite the roller coaster of a race for each of them here tonight, but they still come home with top 10 finishes. Darcy Ford in 10th, and the number 64 gets the job done there. And then rounding out 11th through 19th, Charlie Sears falls just short of a top 10. Final car on the lead lap. It was a very chaotic race for him, but he was able to pull off something decent there, although knowing how the race went for him, he probably would have preferred a little bit better in terms of the overall consistency of how his race went. Mike Marini, 12th, Trevor Binns, 13th, Ryan O'Toole, 14th, Andy Hurdle, 15th, Ouellette, 16th, Janikowski, 17th, Chase Beatty, 18th, Mason Tomlinson, man, oh man, especially with a broken rib and some bad weather going on in his area, finishes 19th, 8 laps down after running consistently inside the top 10 and top 15 throughout pretty much almost all night, and he made it all the way through, so a hell of a props to him right there. And then to round it all out, Jason Heaney, 20th, Hunter Young, 21st, Jason Butler, 22nd, and then, of course, that early incident causes rookie Bryce Fontaine to round out the field in 23rd at 184 laps down, only completing about like 50 15 laps-ish or so right there, so not ideal for him. But other than that, Jordy, what do you got after all that?
Well, first off, sorry for completely jumping all over the end of that Higginbotham interview. I thought it was finished, though. I thought it was safe to come back. My apologies on that. I guess all we can hope for is better for next week, right? Like, that was a bit of a tough night for the guys. I think to a man, they'll all agree to it. But this is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. Next week, we'll, 15 race regular season. We're pretty much at the halfway point right about now. We'll pass it next week. But things are just going to get, more and more interesting from here. And let's enjoy a little bit of time in Cali next week.
For sure. And again, a little reminder here of the schedule. We now conclude the month of April. I mean, literally in an hour. If you're in the Atlantic time zone, in 1 hour's time, it's going to be officially the month of May. Also, the start of racing for pretty much most of Canada here, with like the NASCAR Canada Series, all the local and regional racing over here in Atlantic Canada, with like Oysterbed Speedway on Prince Edward Island, the Easy Clean Super Late Model Series across Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, so that's some cool stuff there. But here within the Canadian E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series, powered by Kyle's Fried Chicken and Barbecue, I mean, pretty much, I guess you could say a fitting ending to what was a very, very entertaining and chaotic month of April at Phoenix, Circuit of the Americas, Kansas, Dover, and North Wilkesboro. And now we enter a month of May where there are plenty of mysteries to come around, especially with this driver parity that we've been seeing throughout this season thus far, with this roster that we have, like Sonoma Raceway to begin it all on May 7th. Got the road course there. Then you got our version, a half version of the Coca-Cola 600 on May 14th. Iowa Speedway May 21st. And then a visit to Nashville Super Speedway to conclude the month. So 4 races here in May. Jordy, Sonoma Raceway coming up next week. You were kind of giving a couple thoughts there just before I started speaking. So I did see one chat there behind the scenes where Sonoma, hopefully a little better, but it could very well be, out of all the races we've run so far, maybe even the entire season, it might be arguably the toughest race of the season.
Well, I mean, I think realistically, anything has to be a bounce back for the stop-start nature of how tonight went. Obviously a little bit of an unfortunate circumstance having these two back to back, but hey, road courses, you have to think of things a little bit differently. You have to approach your race much differently. I mean, road course for starters, it's just, a completely different animal once you're behind the wheel. But I say we're back to, pretty much halfway point now of the regular season, and it's going to be a challenge, certainly, because once you're off the track, it's about as unforgiving as it gets into that sand or dust or whatever you want to call it off the asphalt. But next time we're broadcasting, cue up the NSYNC memes, because it's gonna be May.
Indeed it is. So with all that being said, that pretty much does it here for tonight's GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150 here in North Wilkesboro Speedway. The number 97 of Ty Higginbotham getting his second win of the season. And Tornado Isle E-Racing continuing that hot streak of top 10 finishes. We've said that way too many times here tonight. But again, if it keeps going, that's going to be a storyline that we're going to keep up here within the Canadian E-Motorsports Network. So next week, it is going to be the Bangarang Hard Seltzer 110 on May 7th, Tuesday, May 7th. At 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Atlantic, here on the Canadian E-Motorsports Network YouTube channel at Sonoma Raceway in Sonoma, California. You will not want to miss any of that action, especially after what we witnessed here tonight. So on behalf of everybody here at the network, Jordy Carraher, my fellow color commentator who's been here since the very beginning, the competition committee, all drivers, staff, partners, and all them, my name is Regan McCauley from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. This was the GSGSG Vinyl 3D 150, round 7 of 22 at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Next week, round 8 at Sonoma Raceway. Again, you will not want to miss any of the action. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed tonight's live production. We'll see you all on the road course at Sonoma on Tuesday, May 7th next week.